Zimbabwe Olympics Committee, generally we are happy, very happy with the performance of our young athletes since this was their debut appearance at the Olympics. A number of them broke their personal best records and even set a national record. So this is commendable and very encouraging to us as a nation and as an organization. So we are looking at supporting our athletes because we've already lost a year to COVID, and we now need to quickly prepare for Paris 2024. So it is very clear that we need to take our athletes to high performance centers because we don't have them here in Zimbabwe. So a lot of collaborations and the interactions will be done during the games. And as I speak, the president and the CEO are still in Tokyo, making engagements with other national federations that can be of help to Zimbabwe, where we can establish, collaborations and have some MOUs. So in the short term, this is what we are looking at. But as Zimbabwe Olympic Committee, we are having our strategic plan session in September, where we will look at all these issues that need to be done for us to take the country to the next level.
So as far as you see Zimbabwe right now, you didn't get any medals, but you are saying that you're planning to have a bigger kind of focus in terms of your strategic planning. So at the end of the day, what will make a sport to improve in Zimbabwe so that you get many athletes instead of sending only 5 to Paris 2024?
Clearly, I think we are all in agreement that the number of athletes or disciplines that represented the country don't do justice to the talent that we have in Zimbabwe. So clearly, as a nation, we must put our heads together and find a way of identifying those athletes that are highly talented. It is not necessarily for 2024, but Paris 2024 is short term. We should have medium term for 2028 and long term for 2032. So as Zimbabwe Olympic Committee, we're going to make sure that we try as much as possible to bring all the other facets of the support structures for athletes together in the charted way forward.
So naturally, when you go for such big events and you don't get any medals, you get disappointed. Are you disappointed?
No, not disappointed, but I see a lot of, I like being positive. Whilst I appreciate the fact that we do not get the medals, but I'm very much aware that these don't come overnight. They need a lot of preparation. They need a lot of hard work. They need a lot of resources. So the performance of our young athletes is very encouraging. And I'm sure when we sit down as a nation, all the key stakeholders will all be in agreement that we need to support our athletes if ever we entertain any hopes of reaping, medals. So as I speak, like I said earlier on, the president and the CEO are still in Tokyo. They are making a lot of engagements, especially with those countries that have high performance centers. Because in the short term, this is the only practical thing that we can do to take our athletes to high performance centers, because these cannot be built overnight.
So now, looking at the financial constraints, we know that you need sponsors and all those kind of things. And there's COVID-19. How do you think you can craft something, out of this COVID-19 to make, athletics sound attractive to sponsors?
I think we need now to accept that this is the new normal. We cannot continue to live under the disguise that there's COVID-19 and nothing can be done. The Olympics has now been held at the peak of the third wave, which follows that we can still survive under COVID-19. So we have issues like vaccination. We see that in Europe, a lot of football is now being played with almost full capacity stadia because people are vaccinated. So those are some of the areas with the input of our medical teams that are going to be exploring to ensure that probably our athletes are fully vaccinated so that they can have access to some of these high performance centers.
And finally, what is your last word let me say, your final word to Zimbabweans?
My final word to the nation is that thank you very much for your unwavering support that we enjoyed. Thank you very much to our athletes for that splendid performance. That is so encouraging. That has given us the new vigor to continue to serve them. And I also want to thank the ministry and the government of Zimbabwe for the financial support that they gave us for Tokyo 2020.